Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity. And if you missed me yesterday, I was at the doctor, so I'm here today and we are doing more from KSCRAFT. So we're using the add-on set for the ice cream parlour. Now I already did the ice cream parlour and I also did the Halloween costume store. So I've decided to take the bits which would make the gingerbread store and just do a card with them instead. And the reason for that is because I was mooching through a pile of old stuff and I came across an embossing folder that I hadn't used for a couple of years. So this is the embossing folder and I've already stuck some acetate behind it. Now I'm trying to think, this is a crafter's companion and I'm not sure, but I think it's called the cottage window and it might be quite rare or hard to get hold of now. So if you find it or you've got it, you know, get it out and use it again, which is what I'm doing today. So on the reverse of that, because you've got to see the mechanics, I've stuck my acetate down, and this white dot acetate is also, I believe, Crafter's Companion or Hunky Dory. I think they're pretty much the same kind of store, aren't they, if you know what I mean. And then I've just got my Dollar Tree foam tape around it just to hold it sturdy, because when you've got a big aperture, you know, things can get a bit floppy. Plus I've got humidity here, so you know, I'll show you, see the wave on the card, so the foam will take that down and hold it nice and straight afterwards. So I wanted to build a scene and I want everything to be white, so all I've done is cut the back, and their embossing folders are 5x7. I'm going to try and get my camera clarity back. There we go. So my base is also 5x7, so that if I want to do a folding opening card or just do an easel back, I can do that. So those are the bits that I've done already. Now then, to the bits in the set, you get frosty snow. So I've cut those out twice and I've also put glitter on them. It's like, there we go. Yeah, so I've glittered up the edges of my frosty snow, and I've done that twice because I just wanted to save time. Whatever clear glitter that you've got, you know, that's going to work. I've actually used German glass glitter on these. Oh, I got really close to my camera then. Yeah, we've got bright sunshine. I mean, I can't complain because we've had a bit of rain. And I've done 2 of those. I've cut out 2 trees. So you get trees in that set. So I've cut 2 of those. I've cut out the fairy light string and I've actually trimmed it off. So I trimmed off the 2 edges, which give you another loop, just so that it will fit inside of the window. And the cardstock that I've used there is the basil cardstock from Joanne, as is this. And what I want to do is I want to add some highlights to my bulbs. So I'm hoping that this is working, because all I really want to do is just put a little dot of light onto my bulbs. So I'm just doing this quickly right now. You can just put them down wherever you want to, but I'm going to have mine all going off to the right. It's just a tiny little highlight dot, that's all I'm doing. Because little things like that, you know, to me, they matter. Right, so that's constructed. And then I did the little wreath that also comes with the set, and I've used my gold and silver little pearl beads. These mirror beads are also from ALIEXPRESS, and I cut the bow out twice so that I could fluff it up, and then I just put a little bead in the middle. So that's the wreath that's going to go on the outside of the window. And then I also did the little gingerbread man, but because I'm only really going to be seeing its head, I didn't fully decorate it up because it would have been lost, if you know what I mean. So that's the little gingerbread that comes in the set, and it also comes with little hearts and buttons and things like that. So those are my elements. And then also from the bits that I cut off the ends, I ended up with 6 little yellow bulbs. I'm trying to pick them up. And I'm going to use those like bubble lights on the tree. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to decorate up the tree. So I've got my glue bottle here, and I've got my little lights. I've also got my pickup tool just in case anything's flipped over. And I just want to get bubble lights on the branches. I'm trying to pick that up. Get my pickup tool, that'll make life a lot easier. So you know how little bubble lights look, so I'm just going to be doing that. So I'm just going to turn my tree over. And I want a little blob of glue just on all of the edges. And of course remember to flip over your light bulbs because we're working back to front. I just noticed that. Otherwise I'd have done that myself. So these need to be turned over. So I'm just going to do that. Somebody did ask the other day what pickup tool I use, and it's just called a wax tip pickup tool on AliExpress, and I think you can buy them singly or in bundles of 10. Now I'm not putting these on straight because they never look straight on the trees, do they? They kind of clip on and they can look a little bit wonky. So I'm going to go up a bit, I hope. Stick that one on there. Flip that one over, and I'm going to flip that one over. Now this one I can see I don't quite want it that way around, and I want it a little bit higher up, I think. I'm just going to squash that. I hope everyone's going to have a wonderful day today. I always do. I'm just going to have a little bit of a rest today, I think. Right, so I've got my bubble lights on, or at least I hope I have, and if I flip that over, you can see they look like little bubble lights on the tree. Now I want to double it up onto this one, so I'm just going to run a bead of glue, not a bead, a line of glue, just roughly down the centre, just a little bit, just to hold it there. I'm just dragging that off towards me. And I'm going to lay it directly on top. Right, I'll just let that dry a minute and I'll be right back. Right, so that's dry, and I just got my paint pen again and I put a couple of white dots onto those little yellow bulbs, and then I just want to fluff the edges up because of course we've only glued it in the centre, and I know that I can't have too much dimension, only the depth of the foam, but that's what I've got. So that's got a little bit of shape to it. Now the next thing I need to do, of course, is decorate the window. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. I don't even know if those are still wet actually. And I know I want my tree off to the left, so I'll kind of get my window placement and put stuff down. I apologise if I'm not fully in picture at the moment. I'll just move my stuff because I want to kind of like go like that, and then I want my little gingerbread, you know, being a bit silly. So there are bits of my gingerbreads that I'm going to cut off if they stick out. Ah, well that looks alright. He's looking quite happy there. Right, so that's kind of roughly how I want those two pieces to go. So now that I've seen that, I can peel off the back of my tape. Now you could, if you wanted to, turn this into a shaker and put lots of stuff into there. So I've taken my top and my bottom off here. Now I'm just going to flip it over just to kind of remember how I wanted that, because I'm going to attach it down onto that bottom tape. So I've got my gingerbread, you know, peeping out from the window, and then my Christmas tree. Once again, just pick your window up towards you and kind of get a feel for where you want the tree. So I've got that just hanging on very, very slightly there, and maybe a bit too slight, so I'm going to move that down just a little bit just to make sure it's attached onto that foam. So there we've got our gingerbread and our tree, and you can see our little bubble lights. Okay, so now the next thing, which is quite easy, is the string lights, and hopefully they're going to be able to adhere onto any foam that I've got here, and if not, I'm just going to peel this bit off and kind of just get ready to stick the whole thing down, because my other two elements are going to go on the outside of the card. And I'm doing this just because I like people to have, you know, other ideas of what to do with stuff once they've made it once. So if you're doing your gingerbread shop this year, you know, you can do a card next year. Do expect things to stick to your fingers, because that's the way it goes. So we've got our tree, our gingerbread, and we've got our lights, and now I want to pop the back on. So I'm going to stand up to do this because they're hung on so delicately that you know, I don't want them to flap around. So now we've got our lights. I'm going to sit down a second. We've got our lights in there, we've got our tree, and we've got our Peking gingerbread. And now I can decide where I'm going to have my wreath. Well, I don't want to hide my tree and I don't want to hide my gingerbread, so I kind of need to position that on the window in the correct place. Now I've used white cardstock at the back, but if you wanted to use a pattern to make it look like there's some wallpaper or, you know, anything else going on, then that's absolutely fine. I've got my glue right down into the center parts there, and I'm going to go here. So now we've got our little wreath on there. It looks very chilly and cold, doesn't it? But as I said, you can totally turn this into a shaker if you want to. And now the next bit is, of course, it's snowing outside. So I'm using my snowy frosty pieces. Well, it's starting to get dark outside now. So just as you think, you know, you're getting it done. So I think I'm going to go like that for the top. And I'm just running glue right on the top edge. And I do want that actually on the top of the card, so I'm just holding it there, taking it right to the edge. Right, my humidity, I'm holding it for a second, I'll be right back. That seems to have stuck okay, and for the next one it's going to be the small piece and top edge again, and I'm just going to put it right on the opposite side, so kind of about the same distance, but I just want to be able to get up to that top edge. Let's go along there. Well, I think that one might stick on its own this time. Right, so there we've got frost above, and now for my frost below I'm going to layer one on top of the other just to make it look a little bit more different. So I'm just gluing the top edge again, and I kind of like the window box area, so I'm just turning it to the side so I can see it, and I'm going to go here slightly onto my window. Now because this is plastic that I'm gluing to, I'm going to be back in a second. Okay, so I got that done, and then this bit I'm going to stick into the middle and make it like a layer. So once again, just glue at the top section of it. I'm just going to turn that around, and you kind of want your drips to be in different places. Ooh, I like that. Isn't that cute? But as I said, you could have a patterned background if you wanted to. You could turn it into a shaker if you wanted to. It could be totally filled up with snow. There you go, I've got some clarity on the camera. But there you've got your lights, you've got your wreath, you've got your snowy drips up there. And even if all you've got is a brick wall embossing folder and a window frame, you know, you can do something similar. Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. Very cute. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today, and I do hope I'm getting some clarity back down there for you. And do have a wonderful day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.